Welcome back to The Mandalorian. I apologize for being so late on this episode. I got some shifts at work here lately and it's been a bit of an adjustment. What is going on? Oh, fuck yes! I didn't take long to show her. Hello, Ahsoka Tano. It is good to finally see you in live action. Sick. This is the first time we've seen, I suppose you could say like a traditional lightsaber on The Mandalorian. Because I know we've seen the Darksaber, but that's, in my opinion, quite different from almost any other lightsaber. She's taking no prisoners either.
Jedi.
I mean, she's not really a Jedi. Ooh, I like the sound of her lightsabers. They're a little different than a typical one.
Then you know what I want.
She looks so good.
You will learn
She looks
nothing
exactly like you would
from
imagine
me.
her to. Alright. Chapter 13, The Jedi. Oh, he's such a good little boy. This is a cool looking planet. Have we ever seen this planet in any other Star Wars movies or shows or anything? I don't think so.
What did I say about that?
Oh, come on.
This needs to stay in the ship.
Let him play
Not
with
much
it.
to see out here.
Nice armor.
Thanks.
Guild?
Last I checked.
Sure. Looks like they're doing great. So what's the story with this place? Obviously that lady who was in charge,
You there?
she didn't seem very cool.
I need some information.
Relax. Those cages kind of remind me of, I can't remember what they're called, stasis pods or something from the Knights of the Old Republic games. I vaguely remember seeing something like that in Rebels also.
I want you to kill her.
Good luck with
That's
that.
a difficult task.
The Jedi are the ancient enemy of Mandalore.
As I said,
That was a
my
long
price
time
is
ago.
high.
What do you make of this?
It's a spear?
Kill the Jedi, and it's yours.
Well, I'm not thinking he's gonna be killing that Jedi because one, she's
do I
not
find
a
this
Jedi,
Jedi?
and two, I think he's getting the spear anyways.
You're gonna need it where you're headed.
Speak for yourself. I wonder if they're gonna give us any backstory on this planet. Like, what happened here? Why does it look like this? And all I'm saying is good luck getting the jump on Ahsoka Tano.
Don't worry.
But I'm pretty sure he's
Right
not
here.
going after her to
See
actually,
what's out there.
attack her or anything. Oh shit. Damn, Ahsoka, chill. That Beskar is really handy. Like, it can stop a whole lightsaber. That's pretty impressive.
Ahsoka Tano!
She is so badass.
Bo-Katan sent me.
I hope it's about him.
Oh, that's right. She knows Yoda. She would definitely be like, I recognize that species. Are they speaking through the Force? It's adorable.
Grogu and I can feel each other's thoughts.
Grogu.
Grogu?
Oh, he has a name.
That's his name.
Little Grogu. That's so.
He was raised at the
Fucking
Jedi
cute.
Temple on Coruscant.
What?
Many masters trained him over the years.
He's been trained by the
At the end of
Jedi?
the Clone Wars, when the Empire rose to power, can he still wield the Force?
Oh, yes.
You mean his powers? I've seen him do things I can't explain.
Star Wars.
Cat
Your explanation is the
Was to
Force.
bring him to a Jedi.
I would have expected her, I don't know. I know they have a specific name, but like her tendrils to
Let's see
be
what knowledge is lurking inside that
longer.
little
I know in
mind.
Rebels they were longer.
Now return the stone to me, Grogu.
Yeet!
He doesn't understand.
Come on, I've seen you do crazier things than that. Oh, what's wrong?
I sense much fear in you.
Uh-oh. That's what Yoda said to Anakin. But also what Vader said to Luke.
He's hidden his abilities to survive over the years. Good or bad, they're always memorable. Now hold the stone out in the palm of your hand.
I like the way she's playing the character.
Tell him to
It's
lift
not
it
quite
up.
as like snarky or witty
Alright, kid.
as the animated version,
Lift the stone.
but she is supposed to be older here, and there's still like just a little hint of sass in there.
Grogu.
Very good.
He's formed a strong attachment to you.
It's kind of frowned upon in the Jedi, but
You cannot train him. I've seen what such feelings can do to a fully trained Jedi Knight.
yeah,
To the best of us.
she would know
I will not start this child down that path.
very personally
Better to let his abilities fade.
what can happen.
She plundered worlds, destroying them in the process.
She sounds great.
Yeah, it looks like she's still in business.
Well, if that's the explanation we
Where in
get
the
for why
city
the
did you
planet
see
looks
any
like that,
prisoners?
I'm good with it.
A Mandalorian and a Jedi? They'll never see it coming.
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all keep calling her a Jedi, though. She is not a Jedi. She was trained by the Jedi, but she renounced the Order. I kind of wish she would say that, to be totally honest. Damn. So cool. Badass, dude. So my guess is they're going to try and kill these prisoners. What you gonna do? She looks so good as Ahsoka Tano. Like, I actually really love the casting choice. Okay, that's smart.
Your bounty hunter failed. Where is your master?
Your master.
Kill her.
Love
Who
to.
is her master is what I want to know. And it feels like it's been so long since I've seen some really good lightsaber action. I'm so happy.
I'll take care of this.
Please don't.
All right, Mando, step in. There you go. That's sick. I like the almost like horror element they have with her just walking around them like that. So cool. I mean, this is Ahsoka Tano. She actually put Darth Vader on the ropes, broke his mask and everything. Like, there ain't no way that this other person could pose a threat. Oh, this is very samurai. I really like this. Ooh, surprise. I love that there's no music right now. She is putting up more of a fight than I expected, but it's Ahsoka Tano. Bitch, what? Yeah, no. Dumbass.
Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?
Oh, fucking what? Are we gonna get Thrawn on The Mandalorian? Cause that would be sick, dude. I knew he was still gonna get that spear.
No, I can't accept.
Just take the fucking thing. This music really reminds me of The Legend of Zelda. Oh. It actually kind of breaks my heart. Like, you know, there really is going to be one day, one episode when they do have to part their ways. And that is going to be so sad. But this ain't it. There ain't no way.
If he reaches out through the Force, there's a chance a Jedi may sense his presence and come searching for him.
Cool. What other Jedi are left at this point? There's Luke.
There aren't many Jedi left.
I guess Ezra. Well, this makes me think this is probably going to be the only episode we get Ahsoka, but it's a damn good episode. Like, not really complaining. Sick. That was a great episode. So yeah, really enjoyed the episode. Just the fact that Ahsoka Tano is now in live action, so fucking awesome. And on top of that, they did it really, really well. Like, it may not be the same voice actress with Rosario Dawson playing it now, but I think she captured the character very well. Maybe a little too serious compared to the animated version, but at the same time, she had her moments where she was plenty like, snarky and funny. I think maybe if they just amped that up like a little bit, it would have been better, but she is older now as well, and I think the way she's acting here does make sense. Especially because at this point, she would know that her master, Anakin, is dead and gone, which I'm sure took a heavy toll on her. I mean, we never actually saw that moment when, you know, she probably felt in the Force that he was gone. And I'm sure that was very hard for her to deal with. But I love that she still has the pure white lightsabers. That's just so dope. The costume and makeup they did for her was, like, perfect. It was completely spot on. And even though I call a little bit of bullshit that the Magistrate would even have a chance at fighting her, I think almost all of her action sequences were very well done. Like, they actually used a good bit of her using the Force, not just her lightsabers, which I really appreciate. I was a little concerned about that going into live action. I was thinking they would probably have her use a lot less of the Force to just make it more of the sword play. But that was not the case. She used a good bit of both. And for the longest time in this episode, I thought the Magistrate was going to be a very standalone villain, just a typical, like, oh, she's a bad person and she's got to go. But then they tied it in that her master is Grand Admiral Thrawn, and that really piqued my interest. I sincerely hope they're not just going to do Thrawn for like any spin-offs, because I've heard that they're doing more than likely a spin-off for Bo-Katan, and after this episode, I'm sure they're going to do one for Ahsoka. But I kind of would rather they keep it all in The Mandalorian, to be totally honest. Like, I wouldn't mind multiple conflicts or villains in The Mandalorian story. Like, obviously, Moff Gideon is the main one, but to also have Thrawn as a problem, and Bo-Katan going through, you know, whatever she ends up going through, I would love for that all to be a part of The Mandalorian as opposed to spin-offs, but that's just me. Because goddammit, Thrawn was a cool villain. He's like the smartest villain I think I've ever seen in Star Wars, which would make for a very good antagonist on this show, I think. I'm trying to remember the last time we saw him in Rebels. Pretty sure it was when Ezra like used the big squid looking things to send them out into hyperspace, but I don't remember if we saw either of them after that. I don't think so. I really should have rewatched the whole show again, like right before I started this, but I watched it a couple months ago and I can't really remember. I guess we'll see. And when she told him to take Grogu, I can't get over the fact that we know his name now, but to take him to the Jedi Temple and reach out through the Force like a beacon, that also gets me very excited because that potentially brings in other Jedi characters like Ezra. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I would be surprised if it's anyone but Ezra, unless they're trying to go for like a darker approach where it's actually a dark Force user. The Inquisitors aren't a thing anymore, right? At this point in the timeline, all the Inquisitors have been dealt with, right? I'm not positive. If they're not, seeing one of the Inquisitors come after the Mandalorian and Grogu, that would be so fucking cool, dude. But I'm not sure if they're even alive at this point in the timeline. It was very interesting getting Grogu's backstory. Like, when she said his name, I was like, oh shit, okay, that's our big reveal of the episode. He has a name and it's Grogu. But then she proceeded to say he was actually trained on Coruscant, like the other younglings that we saw in the prequels. And then he was taken into hiding after the whole Order 66 thing. And in that time, we don't exactly know where he's been or what's happened to him, which is kind of crazy. Like, I know he's 50 years old, technically. I just didn't expect for him to be like a part of what happened in the prequels and all that. I mean, timeline-wise, obviously he was, but, you know, I didn't think he was already being trained as a Jedi. But that does make sense as to how he's been able to use the Force in some pretty big ways already, which I'm sure is going to be one of those moments that people use to hate on Rey from the new trilogy even more. They're like, see, he got trained. That's how he's able to do it. Why was Rey able to do everything she was? And I get that argument, I do. But forgive me for not hating Rey for just being naturally gifted at using the Force. I just don't mind. And they did kind of give an explanation to that because she's, you know, a dyad in the Force with her and Kylo Ren. So again, it doesn't bother me as much as it seems to bother other people. But I see the argument, I do. And the fact that most of this show has dealt with people speaking about the Jedi either not knowing anything about them or knowing very, very little about them. It was really cool to see Ahsoka, you know, explain the Force as we've heard it explained many times, watch them actually train and practice with Grogu using it. It was really cool. I know a lot of people have very different things about the Star Wars universe that they like the most. For me, it's the Jedi and the Force. I think that is the coolest thing in all of Star Wars. Like, I like all of it, don't get me wrong, but the mystical side of things with the Force and the Jedi has always been my favorite part about it. So I really love that we got a good dose of that in this episode. God damn, I can't stop rewatching these scenes of Ahsoka just fucking it up. Like, it's so good. Cinematography wise, I really like this episode actually. There were a lot of, in my opinion, like really samurai inspired shots in this. Like very wide shots showing two people standing off with each other or someone way in the distance walking up slowly, like all the confidence in the world. I think the cinematography in this episode was very, very good. Probably the best that it's been this whole season. Music was also fantastic. I love that during the big standoff at the end, there was no music at all. It really upped the tension of the scene and also let you really focus on like every hit of the fight, which I think was just a good choice. I even like the kind of upbeat, happy music that it was playing towards the end after, you know, the big victory for the village. Maybe a little corny, but I think it also suits Star Wars. It felt very Return of the Jedi or A New Hope to me. Acting wise, I obviously have to give it to Rosario Dawson. I think she killed it as Ahsoka Tano. I already voiced my slight complaints with the character, but even then, I completely see why they would make some of the changes that they did, and I do think it still suits her. Just this being the first time we've seen her in like such a long time, timeline wise anyways. It was a little, not jarring, but I suppose a little surprising at first. But I've been excited for her to play this role ever since it was announced because I really like her as an actress, and I always had a sort of mental picture in my head as to what she would look like as Ahsoka, and then when she showed up on screen, I was like, that's exactly it. Like, that's exactly what I imagined. So yeah, I liked it a lot. Editing and pacing. This episode was actually rather slow, which I think was a perfect choice considering they gave us a lot of backstory on Grogu and the Jedi, and honestly, anytime you're talking about the mystical side of Star Wars, you do need to take a moment to kind of sit with it and appreciate like what the Jedi are saying. So I think it was a wise choice that suit this episode very well. And that being said, this episode was a lot longer than the past couple ones have been. Or maybe not. I think the fourth episode was decently long. I don't really remember. Like, it wasn't an hour long or anything, but I think it was, hold on. Yeah, like for actual runtime, it was about 40 minutes long, which is longer than normal. And I personally think this was almost the sweet spot. Like, this is exactly how long I want all the episodes to be. Overall, I'm giving this episode a 9.5 out of 10. It was so boss. Like, from the moment they announced Rosario Dawson is going to play Ahsoka to the moment when Bo-Katan actually spoke her name and gave him a destination, they've just been building up so much hype for this moment, and I feel like they actually delivered in a very satisfying way. Like, I absolutely loved what they did with the character. I love the episode as a whole. I love that they set up Thrawn. It was fantastic. It was an absolutely fantastic episode. And I get the feeling the next episode is probably going to be a bit more of a standalone one before they get to this temple. I could be wrong on that, but we'll see. I mean, they got me super hyped. I've already been 100% on board for the ride of this show, and now more than ever. And that's about it. All seems like a go to me.
Well, I leave you out here in the lava flats to walk home with whatever's left in your humidity vest. So much of a choice, is it?
I mean, 100 years off would still put you at 250 years. I'd probably just walk home.